Hey everyone, today I'm participating in the Honeybee Stamps YouTube Pop featuring items from the Perfect Day release. I rarely use this much dimension on the card, but I really loved how it turned out, so I'm happy to share it. Today my card features the Honeybee Stamps Lovely Layers Magnolia, the Shaker Circle die, Foil Scripts Wishes, and the Painted Bloom stamp set along with the Modern Spring gem stickers. To start off with my card, I am using Distress Spray Stains, and I've had these in my collection for such a long time and I've never used them and I don't know why. After I played with them, I am so addicted. So I am using a piece of Canson XL watercolor paper as my main panel. I have this box that I got from packaging and I've just kept it. And so this is where I do my splatter, where I'm doing my stains. I have a piece of paper towel right underneath because I'm spraying it with water and it's just going to get very wet. And so I laid it down to catch up all that excess liquid that we'll be collecting. For my first panel, I am using picked raspberry and fossilized amber, which mix so perfectly to create this like orangey, pink, and yellow color. And what I'm doing is spraying a bunch of different layers, adding water to blend it together, heat setting, and then repeating the steps until I'm happy with it. And I'm doing the same thing with this smaller piece of Canson XL watercolor paper. I'm using the colors Fossilized Amber and Rustic Wilderness, spraying it, mixing it with water to blend together, heat setting it, and then going in with multiple layers until I am happy. It's so fun to play with. These blend together very well, but I just wanted a little bit more dimension, and that's what I did with both panels. Once I have my panels ready, I will be die cutting using the Lovely Layers Magnolia. For this set, it's pretty straightforward. There are 2 dies for the leaves, and then there are 4 dies for the petal area, and then 2 pieces for the small stamen that's right in the middle of the flower. For the leaves, I actually end up die cutting 3 pieces because I like odd numbers for leaves. I think it's really pretty to put 2 leaves together and then 1 by itself on the other side of the flower. For the magnolia itself, the petals, I only add glue in the middle area of the die cut because I want to curl up the edges. I'll just put glue and then I'll curl it up, mess with it just so it gives it a bit of added dimension, and they layer so easily together. There's like this pointy part at the bottom of the petal, and so you can line it up according to that, but if not, you can't figure it out. Honeybee Stamps has layering guides that you can refer to on their website. You can download them and then add it with your die set so you'll know exactly how to layer up these dies if you need to. I wanted to definitely add dimension because I thought gluing it down flat would be cool and all, but I really like the dimension that the curling kind of gives the flower. So I'm so happy with that. Then once I was done with putting together the floral, I pulled out the shaker circle die, and I'm not using this as a shaker. I'm using it more as a frame and kind of an anchor for the magnolia. And I think it was just really pretty because it also matched the stamen on the flower. I pulled out a piece of kind of brick red cardstock and pulled out 2 pieces of the Painted Bloom stamp, and I will be heat embossing it using white satin embossing powder along with Honeybee Stamps clear ink, which is a sticky ink that will adhere to the embossing powders as long as it's still wet. So for this card panel, I just wanted a very subtle design on the background, nothing to take away focus from the magnolia. So I thought this was the perfect way to do it, and I thought it was just really pretty. It's just a really fun stamp set on its own, but I really wanted to include it into this card because, well, flowers, right? So once I finish embossing one side, I'll flip my panel over and re-stamp it. I didn't even move the stamps in my MISTI, and I just stamped it exactly the same way, and it created kind of a frame. It doesn't even matter if it overlaps because most of this will be covered, and I just wanted a few of those leaves to be poking out on the side. For my sentiment, I pulled out the foil script Wishes, and yes, I'm only using 1 sentiment on my card, but if you pull out your foil machine, you might as well foil. So that's what I did. I went ahead and pulled out 4 different sentiments, added it facing upwards, and then put pink hot foil facing down, added my cardstock, hit the heat timer, and then once the heat timer was up, I ran it through my die cut machine, and then we can do the reveal, which is my favorite part of foiling. So I'm just going to pull that off, and then I have 4 sentiments ready to go. And the cool thing about these foiled sentiments is that they come with coordinating dies, so you don't have to worry about cutting them out manually. I really like having the coordinating dies that go right around the lettering. It's just so pretty, especially because these are super scripty. For the extras, I'll just put them aside for the next card I want to use, but the one I wanted to use today was Happy Birthday. For my card panel, I decided to trim down 1/4 inch on the top and the bottom, and I am going to mat it on white cardstock. I have a ton of white cardstock scraps, and so I decided that I'm just going to do a faux mat, which I'm putting into my MISTI, adding some double-sided adhesive, and putting my panel right at 1/4 inch, and I'll trim it off and do the same for the top and bottom. Now it's time to put my card together. I pulled out that gold circle that I had already die cut, and that will go right in the middle of the card. It's easy to line up because I have my painted blooms kind of working as a frame for me. I eyeball it and get it right in the middle, and then I'll start adding my magnolia onto my card panel. So I kind of wanted it to be at the corner of my card, and then I wanted 2 leaves on one side and then 1 leaf on the other side. So I picked the leaves that kind of had the most contrast, so I put those towards the bottom. And then for my sentiment, I was playing around with sending our love or happy birthday, but I thought happy birthday kind of filled up the space a little bit better. So I decided to go with that, and I put it at a slant so it would just fill up that middle space, because remember, I didn't stamp anything there. I only did it as a frame and it was fine. I just pushed the flower up a little bit more to fill up that empty space right in the middle, and I'm going to go ahead and adhere all my leaves and the magnolia. And again, I'm not going to put glue to the very edges of the magnolia because I want to be able to curl it up. For the happy birthday sentiment itself, I added a ton of foam and added it to my card because I wanted the dimension to match the flowers. And as a last minute thing, I decided to pull out the Modern Spring gem stickers because I thought it just needed a little bit more shine. I kind of have fallen in love with this gem sticker set. I usually don't care that much for these gem stickers, but I really like the colors on these. They go with everything. They're so simple. There's 3 different sizes, and I just filled up any space I wanted on that card. I am so happy with how this card turned out. It's so pretty with all that dimension. This is definitely a card that I will be giving someone directly because I do not want to risk it getting squished in the mail. So I hope you enjoyed this card. Be sure to hop along the YouTube hop, leave a comment for a chance to win. They will be giving away 2 $50 gift cards to 2 commenters. So for a chance to win, you gotta leave a comment. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys next time with another one. Bye!